Good morning, YouTube. It's your buddy Chopping On, coming at you with another episode of Chop Talk, brought to you by the one, the only DFSArmy.com, your one-stop shop for all things DFS. You've heard me say it over and over and over again. Head down to the comments section, click the link, DFSArmy.com, use coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Deliver that 10% off discount to yourself because, after all, we don't let our friends play retail. What I want you to do today is we're going to focus on process, MLB process. We'll come back later today, possibly with the wide receivers video and the ultimate simple, hyper simple breakdown of Week 1 NFL DFS. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, so you might want to just subscribe to the channel anyway. Click the little bell, get the little notifications that a new content has dropped. And of course, we'll just keep rolling because, like I said, I'm your buddy Choppadong. I'm here to deliver and teach you how to become a better player. When we talk about MLB process, you know my routine. We're going to select pitchers. We're going to pick on pitchers. Then we're going to find the hot bats inside the offenses to pick on the pitchers. And we're going to tie it all together in one nice, neat little bow. But while you guys are all focused on the early slate, I'm going to be focused on the main slate. So we're going to let this baby sit out there all day long and percolate. Hopefully you guys share, like, do all of the retweeting stuff that you got to do to help spread the word. Get me out on Twitter as much as I can so I can keep delivering this information. And we keep impressing my boss that the content actually works. Let's dive in. What I do always is search by K percentage of the pitchers once I get to the pitching tab here in the research station, and I start looking oftentimes for priced up pitchers. I see Freddy Peralta, nothing. Sean Newcomb. When I drop down even lower down in here, I start finding issues because when we get lower into the strikeout pitchers, oftentimes it doesn't lead to a lot of K score, which is strikeout percentage plus opponent's handedness strikeout percentage. We do find a little bit of strikeout happy stuff in Milwaukee and in CC Sabathia facing Chicago White Sox, but the White Sox have been kind of hot lately, and I don't know about you, but I'm not necessarily wanting to roll Matt Harvey out there today against the Milwaukee Brewers. So let's take a peek. Maybe he's still bitter that he didn't get picked up by the Brewers, and maybe he really goes firing at him. I don't really know. What I know is he's not the kind of pitcher that I want to be picking on when I've got some other names up here on the slate. Now, I'm not excited about any of these guys either. It's not the greatest slate in the world to be picking on. But we're going to slide on over and look at the Vegas odds. And as we do that, we find nothing major. We do see a big one on CC Sabathia, so that's a little bit interesting. But your next biggest one is on Alex Wood, and then a little bit on Freddy Peralta, a little bit on what looks like Sean Newcomb. Not a ton. Well, there's one down there on Plutko, whatever the hell his name Co is. And then Miles Michaelis has decent favorites attached to him, or favorite odds, decent odds attached to him, I should say. You know what? It's another one of those weird slates. When I looked it down, up and down, first of all, I'm not trusting Diego Castillo. It's a Tampa Bay reliever getting a start. It's just puke. When I look at Freddy Peralta, I don't even believe that philosophy works. I can't believe they're still doing it. They must have nothing in their farm system to even bring up. It's just, Tampa Bay fans, help me out. Shout out on Twitter. Teach me where I'm going wrong when I look at your pitching staff and just go, what the hell is going on? Freddy Peralta, 8,700 priced up, minus 145 out of Vegas. When you add those two columns together in K percent and OpK, you end up with a 520 K score. He's only got a 54 DFSA grade, which makes me worry a little bit about what Cincinnati could be doing. It might be a little more of a contrarian stack to stack up Reds because they're not hitting a lot of the offensive indicators today. But with that 54 DFSA grade, maybe. When I look at that automatically is going to kind of turn me off. I would normally be pretty excited about a guy who's priced up with a 520 K score, so I might run some shares of him out there, but he's not going to be my dominant pitcher. Zack Godley, $9,000. He's priced down. Minus 120 favorite isn't great. 486 K score is okay. 95 DFSA grade, all of a sudden sees something it likes. Maybe it's picking on the San Francisco Giants. Again, I don't know what the matchup sees in the algorithm the computer uses. I know it likes it, and a lot of times I'll let that stuff sway me. If I was looking dead on the numbers so far, I'd still be favoring Freddy Peralta. I just don't know that I can go there. Mike Minor, I haven't used him all year. Priced the same on both sides. Facing the Dodgers, don't really know about that. Dodgers are in an okay spot. They've been hitting the ball fairly well lately as a team. Plus 150, so he's an underdog. That's not exciting. 456 K score is not exciting. 60 DFSA grades not exciting. I can just cross his butt right off my list. That's it, done. I won't take him over a Godley or a Peralta at this point. Alex Wood, 8,500. Price the same, minus 160 favorite. It's a little bit better. 460 K score is kind of tolerable. I'd rather have the 486 in Godley. I'd rather have the 520 in Peralta. Maybe just ride the variance train up and down a little bit. 67 DFSA grade, meh. Facing Texas in Texas, man, don't know I want to make a habit out of doing that. But it's not like Texas is all over the radar offensively today either. So Alex Wood, I mean, obviously a good pitcher, solid pitcher. He's in play, but he's only kind of sort of in play. And notice that I'm not super excited about anybody. There's nobody that's just mashing all the boxes right now and pointing out to us that we just need to play them. They are the safe option, or they are the upside option, or any of that jazz. We've got a bunch that we've kind of got some I don't know. It's kind of like the chick at closing time. You know, if she's the only one left, sure, I'll take her home. But I'm not really excited about it. I'm looking around the room. Anything else? Anything else? Who's over there? I don't really, I don't know. I guess I got to do what I got to do. Sean Newcomb might be actually the one that we end up taking. He's priced up at 8,300, minus 145 favorite, 459 K score. Again, lower K score, 85 DFSA grade though, and Tampa Bay is who we're facing. So I don't know what intrigued me there. I mean, there's your DFSA grades all the way down here to Newcomb at 85. Man, maybe you'd consider even a CC Sabathia with that major odds out of Vegas. But I don't trust old men. You know, they're dirty. They got impure thoughts in their head. Don't have a lot of stamina left. I mean, you know, dirty men are dirty old men. I'm going to be one someday, so I can go ahead and rip on it. My wife's already told me so. But when I look at these lists, I mean, Newcomb's in play, Wood's in play, Godley's in play, Peralta's in play. Mix and match. Throw them in the Yahtzee Cup and roll it out and see what happens. It's just there's no real overwhelming favorite. I might stick to a Newcomb. I might stick to a Peralta being priced up. Newcomb 145, Peralta 145 out of Vegas. 524.50. Somebody's going to have a decent day. They're not overwhelmingly expensive, but I just don't see a ton of upside in these guys either. So, sorry I can't deliver much better for you in the pitching department than that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with running 20 lineups and putting, 25% on all four guys. Again, cover the bases. Something's going to go well, something's not. There's nothing massively pointing towards one of them having a better day than any of the others. They're just all going to run in their normal performance channels, and it is what it is. When I sort out the ascending DFSA grade to pick our first star and bring the crap to the top, I go all the way down here to the 43 and Alex Cobb today, just because there's a decent tier drop off from 43 to 54. All these are all kind of lumped together, and we got a couple of bad ones up there. So when I'm looking here, Cleveland, Minnesota, New York, St. Louis, Washington, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Toronto, that kind of hits my list for what offenses are facing bad pitching. We'll double check that with the double red stuff here in a little bit, but we're also going to slide over to Vegas odds, sort by opponent runs. And today we'll come down to like the 4.7-ish for you. I don't like sticking to only 3 or 4 offenses, so we'll include a 5th one today just for kicks. New York, LA, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Philly. We got a couple of double dongs already on the list that have appeared twice. Now when we go into double red, you're not going to find an overwhelming indicator here, because watch this. Not a lot. You got a bad one here, and then kind of a bunch of nothing. I mean, they're kind of pink. They're kind of okay. It's nothing that gets too exciting. But when we come over here, Matt Harvey doesn't handle lefties very well, and then we got these 3. So really 4 out of the top 5 are what we would look at. I might stay away from Borucki just because he handles left-handers okay. Doesn't mean you can't pick on him. Just pick on him with right-handed bats. You'll be fine. Cleveland, New York, Toronto, skip Baltimore, and take Milwaukee. So those are my 3 major stars. When I look at these graphics here, and I'm looking for who scored the runs and who's given up the runs, of course I want to take these guys' opponents. The guys that are playing today, Yankees, Rangers, Nationals, Cardinals, Indians, Braves, White Sox, Dodgers. That's who's on this list. And over here, the matchups. Orioles, Blue Jays, Dodgers, Reds, Cleveland Indians. So now when I've got these 5 categories written down and laid out, I can start seeing who hits most of those lists. Who hits more of these lists than the others? And I see that Cleveland hits the list all 5 times. New York Yankees hit it 4 times. And then Milwaukee, Toronto, and the LA Dodgers hit it 3 times. Everybody else hits it 2 or less. So those are the 5 offenses I'd be rolling with today. Logically, they're checking the most boxes. Cleveland, New York Yankees, Milwaukee Brewers, Toronto Blue Jays, LA Dodgers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the Trends tab. And what I did was I sorted by 350 or better on the L7 WOBA. And then I actually wanted to refine that just a smidge. So I came over here to the ISO and picked only those hitting above 200. Greater than 200. Now I've got a list of guys that are hitting for decent WOBAs over the last week and decent power over the last week. And what we're going to try and do is ride the train. If you want to get off the train, that's fine. You look for indicators like this where we've got a guy whose L14 WOBA is higher than his L7, indicating he's coming down. Indicating his best part of these numbers was 2 weeks ago, not last week. You want to stick to mostly ascending guys in this list when you can, as long as this number is still okay. So it indicates that the number, to bring his average down, he's got to be hitting below his average. So we're going to run through the Cleveland Indians and find Encarnacion, Kipnis, and Alonso are the playables, and they're all ascending. So definitely playable. New York Yankees. Voit, Torres, Andujar, Hicks. Again, ascending, or at least flatlining. This isn't considered descending, really. It's about the same. Shoot, you might even think that leads to consistency, but then again, nothing's consistent in baseball. Yelich, Moustakas, Pena, Scope. Ascending. There's a little dissension out of Manuel Pena, but 21 at bats, whatever. Ascension. So guys so far are pretty much climbing. There's no other way to really weed these guys out. Grichuk, Morales, McKinney, Urena. If these guys get the at bats, ascending big time. Descending a little bit in Morales. That's to be expected, is it not? But he's still holding a 563 over the last 7 days. See, that doesn't include days 8 through 14. This is only the last 7 days. He's doing okay. 516, 506, and then ascending here. So again, we're looking at basically decent plays. Now, if this was a 641 and this was a 350, I'd be a little bit disappointed. LA Dodgers, Muncy, Kiki, Justin Turner, Jock Peterson. I thought for sure Justin Turner's got to be cooling off. Nope. Holding his own. Dude's just staying steady Eddie. It's been a cash play for the last 2 weeks, as you can see by the nearly 500 WOBA. So these guys are all playable. These guys, yeah, you can dip into the other offenses if you want. You want to see what Cincinnati's got to offer, go for it. Philly hit the list once. You want to see what they have to offer. You think that the Chicago White Sox are riding hot. You want to stack them against CC Sabathia. Boom, there you go. Doesn't look like many of them are hitting really, really well. Engel is a one-off, no big deal. Want to hit some Atlanta up? Those are your playables there. I mean, you can certainly bounce around. I'd say I'm going to jinx them. I'd say get off of Arizona. They've been shut out for 22 innings. All their numbers have been torn to shit. Only Goldschmidt's doing the hitting out of that offense. And you know what? By saying that and by saying, oh, yeah, now what we're doing is we're getting to the end of a 3-game, 22 innings, 2.5 games of shutout baseball. Offense can't hit, water falling out of a boat. But the bottom line is they're due to turn around. They were so hot for so long, they've just cooled off. Maybe they come back around, I don't know. But I'm going to oppo-choppo them here and say get off of them. Fade them until further notice. That means I'll score 10 tonight. So if you believe in oppo-choppo, you'll stack them. If you believe in what I'm telling you, which is what the numbers are telling me, you'll stay off of them for a while. With the L7 WOBA numbers, when they come back, we'll be on them in about day 2 or 3 of their run. And if it goes for another week, we'll get 4 or 5 good days out of them. That's what the L7 number does. It gets us off the train in a hurry and gets us on the train in a hurry so we don't get burned for too long. We're still going to get burned, Look at my bankroll over the last month. But we're not going to get burned forever, and we're not going to get burned for long. And that's the key. That's what keeps your bankroll intact. That and then just general bankroll management. If bankroll management is something you need help with, contest selection is something you need help with. I've got videos out there on my YouTube channel. Search DFS Army Ladder Up. Good little video there for you showing you how I generally pick my contests. I help people all the time inside the Army with, hey, I've got 25 bucks to spend tonight. How would you do it? Hey, I've got 100 bucks to spend tonight. How would you do it? I'm talking to people constantly about that sort of stuff. That's what the coaching is for. That's what you need DFSArmy.com for, because we've got 20 coaches, we've got 40 on staff, we've got 1,500 members talking DFS 24/7, 365. We're always talking, and generally when you assemble a room of intelligent people, the overall intelligence of the room comes up. You're going to learn more. Maybe you learn from me, maybe you don't. Maybe you learn from another guy who gave a great tip. That's the idea of the Army. We're a group think, we're a community, and we're always talking DFS. If that's something that interests you, you get the content, you get the tools, you get the coaching, you get the community, you get it all for one low investment in yourself, in your own DFSA game. Come in, check us out, hit the like and the subscribe button at the bottom of the video, and then click the link and become a VIP today. DFSArmy.com, use coupon code CHOP. Hopefully I'll see you on the inside. Tune back in for the wide receiver video maybe later today, if not tomorrow, and I will see you when I see you. Take care, guys.